Hello everybody, this is Alyssa from Mank Arts and Crafts, and today we have our month in review for the month of November. And it's super exciting because for the month of November, I actually had 5 finishes. I was super excited about this, especially considering the fact that as far as canvases are concerned, I only actually had 1 finish for the month of October. So November, I was super excited. I considered this my month to kind of like really get down and focus on finishing out a lot of my outstanding WIPS. I finished 3 of my WIPS and then 2 new projects in the month of November. I have 1 WIP that I did not even touch at all because I wanted to work on those 2 new projects. So we're going to kind of get into this. So I'm super, super excited about this. I was super happy. 2 of these will look familiar because, again, they've been long-standing works that I've been working on and long-standing work in progress or WIPs that I've had. And I was super excited to finally finish them. So the first finish that I had would be Flower Delivery version 2. And this is by Yuumei Art. It is a Diamond Art Club. It is a 70 by 102 centimeter square drill canvas. It had 81 colors, which included 7 ABs and 4 fairy dusts. I started this canvas on the 16th of July, finished it on the 9th of November, and it took me 69 hours and 13 minutes. So I'm not going to go in depth on this one, details on this, because I did a very, very, very in-depth comparison series. So you can see that I have a whole playlist that compares version 2 of Flower Delivery to version 1 of Flower Delivery. So you can check that out and go over to, you can go down to that playlist and check out the very in-depth series on that, including my final video, which goes in depth comparing version 2 to version 1. But I will just kind of give you a little bit. I'm not going to go through the hassle of moving my camera to make it so you can actually see the full image of this. I'll kind of give you the pan over. Here is the top of the canvas. And then as we come up, I love, love, love. Look at that beautifulness of Kiki and Gigi. And then as we continue coming up, I know it makes it, this is such an unwieldy large canvas. It's very hard to, all right, I'm going to just roll it like this so I can show you as I go. We can kind of see. That's the only really good way to show this as I go with my workspace that I have. We'll kind of continue rolling it up so we can see the bottom as we go. And then here is the bottom of it with the detail of the bike, these flowers, the windows of the flower shop. You've got all of these gorgeous flowers over here and the detail of the path coming up with the stairs and all of these fairy dust. I do like the way that the squares kind of give you that shimmery, finished look. I just wish it wasn't such a pain in the butt to work on squares. And I have noticed that this new drill field for Diamond Art Club, it is such a tight fitting drill field that for me, it is a lot of work to place a square canvas. It is a lot of work and it takes me a long time. As you can see, it took me 69 hours and 13 minutes to finish this. This was my first finish of the month of November and my 35th finish of the year / all time since I started this year. But that is finish number 1 for the month. So now we are going to move this one out of the way and move on to finish number 2, which guess what? Finish number 2 is Flower Delivery version number 1. So version number 1, you can see here, this is Flower Delivery version number 1. This was the original, also by Yuumei Art. This is by Diamond Art Club as well. It is a 55.8 by 80.7, so significantly smaller canvas. It has 66 colors, which includes 5 ABs and 1 fairy dust drill, square drill canvas. I started this one on the 19th of July, and I finished it on the 12th of November. So, and it took me 47 hours and 56 minutes. Again, this one's smaller, won't take quite as long. It is still a square drill canvas, so it did take quite a while. Because it is smaller, the confetti was a little bit more in depth because it is a lot more you're literally placing 1 drill here, 1 drill there, versus in the other canvas, because it's bigger, even though it's got more colors, you have larger areas of that color in a space. And that's just the nature of having those. This was my second finish of November and my 36th finish of all time / the year. I did feel that the drills were overall good on this canvas. It could have been slightly larger, but I feel like as I went in depth on my comparison series, I would have gladly have found like a happy size between the two canvases, because I felt like that one was too big and this one was just a little bit small to get the detail that you really need in like Kiki and Gigi's face. I'm happy with this and I'm happy with the render. But that's because I don't mind the really pixelated look of everything. Like, that's something that I'm happy with. I like pixel art look because, I mean, we are doing pixel art. So to me, I'm happy with this. This does not bother me. But there were things that did bother me that I talked about in depth in my video, like the slanting lines of the windows. What I really did not like were the double paned weirdness of the windows here. And then, like, some of the things were hard to distinguish. Like, if you're looking at the bike down here, it's kind of hard to just, like, it comes through a little bit better, obviously at a viewing distance, but it's not nearly as clear that this is a bike compared to the version 2. But I do love this one. I think out of the two, there's definite pluses and minuses out of both of them. I still absolutely love this image. Love, love, love this. I'm super excited for the new Kiki image, the new Under the Stairs. I can't wait to work on that one. Eventually, when it gets in, I've got a lot of other projects and other large canvases I want to work on before I get to that. But this was my second finish. I did find that the drills were overall pretty good. I did find a lot of Swiss cheese in these drills, especially actually in a lot of these lighter colors. There were a lot of like those holes in these lighter colors on this canvas here. So that was an issue, and I had a lot of them that I had to trash because of that. But this was finish number 2. Now we're going to go on to finish number 3 for the month. Bum, 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 bum. Finish number 3 is this beauty right here, which I do also have a post review up for her. This is Aphrodite by Effervescence, and this is from Bella Art Diamonds. And I also have a sneak peek up for her. I am beyond amazed by how shimmery and like blingy these drills are. I have not, like, out of any company I've used, I have not seen rounds that have this much shimmer and shine to them as these ones. I mean, they are beyond shimmery and shiny. Just sitting here, look at that shimmer just sitting here without moving it. I'm used to when I move it like this, getting the shimmer, but just sitting here, look at how much they catch the light. And these are resin rounds in this kit here. I do have another finish from this company that I did for an event that was acrylic rounds. And you'll be able to see a little bit of the difference between the two. So this is 65 colors. It had 3 ABs in it. It is a 60 by 70 in brown for this one right here. I started this one on the 14th of October and I finished it on the 19th of November. And I have, again, in-depth details on this in my post-review video. I loved the drills. Overall were really good. A couple of the dark colors had like the clumpy drills where they stuck together, and I don't have a drill grinder, so I just had to kind of pick them apart. And I could find that I could like just I could just grab a tray, or basically while the drills were in the tray, I could basically push them down and push them apart with my fingers, so they weren't clumped together to the point where you couldn't separate them. And if I had a drill grinder, I could have easily separated them, but I was able to I had enough drills that weren't clumped together that I could get everything that I needed. And that was only a couple of the darker colors that was doing that. There were very few of the actual trash drills and very few of the drills that had like the pieces in like any of the normal like resin bits that you get. I didn't have any of that. The actual trash was extremely minimal. It was more those clumpy ones in some of those colors. I was initially worried about her skin tones. Like these shades, when I first started placing it, it looked extremely off, and it was like, this is going to go horribly wrong, but it did not. It turned out beautifully. Her skin tones look fantastic. And this actually is really like the brightness of this very pale pink right here. Looks white, but it's actually very pale pink. Actually is very true to the original artwork right here with how bright that is. But the only thing that I didn't necessarily, that I kind of was like, was a little bit of the render in her hand. But again, if you look at the original artwork that you see right here, it's the way it's rendered is actually looking pretty close to what you see in here for, yeah, so when we look at this original artwork, you can actually see that the render for her hand was actually done fairly close to what we have kind of like right in there. But again, this was one of the things that I was kind of like meh about the hand. Also kind of meh about her hand right down here. But everything else render-wise, I think turned out phenomenal. The face was completely 100% on point, and I feel like faces are one of the hardest things to do. Again, I go significantly more in depth onto her in my post review of her, so you can watch that video to go more on it. Loved the overall finish of this. I still think I'm extremely pleased with it. I can't get over the sparkle of these drills, you guys. This is like, wow, stunning with the sparkle of these drills. I am still enamored by that. This was my 3rd finish of the month and my 37th finish of all time / the year. And that was Aphrodite by Effervescence and Bella Art Diamonds. So now we're going to move on to my 4th finish of the month. And I did not do this one for an event. This was just one of my WIPs that I wanted to kind of finish out. So now we're going to go to number 4. Number 4. Oh, I love how she turned out. So this right here is The Painter by Made John Duty. And this one is from Jaded Gem Shop. I finished her, that she is a round 45 by 60. And this was my canvas for the Nightcourt November 23 event. And you can see here, I did, like I said, a 45 by 60, did it in rounds. This was 49 colors, and I had it charted to have crystals added in. So there were 2 crystals added to this canvas here. And the crystals were actually in, let me bring it up so you can see all the way down for this color here. Kind of hold it so we can get the full image. I love how she turned out. And this kind of shows you that you do not have to have the biggest image. This is, whenever I order from Jade, the majority of the time I try to order the smallest size that I can in rounds, if possible. If once in a while I'll order a canvas in squares. If I want the smalls, if I want a really small size, I'll order in squares. But typically I am ordering the smallest size that you can in rounds. And that's what I did on this one. So this is the 45 by 60 in rounds. And this one, as you can see, she's gorgeous and she looks phenomenal in that round. Like, I feel, to me, there's plenty of detail. I don't feel like I'm missing out on any detail by getting this image in rounds. And that's because Jade does a lot of confetti in her kits. They are pretty confetti heavy, but the confetti works, and that's what gives you this detail. And you can see there's a difference when you look at her up close like this, and you can see all of that color differences in that confetti versus when you look at her down here, that confetti comes together, and that's what gives you the detail that you're seeing. So this one right here, I started this on the 13th of November and I finished it on the 25th of November, and it took me 26 hours and 31 minutes. You can see I'm much faster when it comes to rounds, like in a heartbeat, much faster when it comes to rounds. Did I say how fast it took me to do the, oh yeah, I don't know if I said how long it took me to do Aphrodite. So Aphrodite took me 30 hours and 16 minutes, but that one was a 60 by 70. This one took me 26 hours and 31 minutes, 45 by 60, but also a lot of confetti in this one. And our crystals, we have 2 crystals in this one. We have these, basically like a silver crystal. I don't remember what color it was. Charted, I have it, oh yeah, it's down here. I could tell you what it is. A 3865, which is this crystal right here, which is a nice accent for the light kind of shining onto her like robe that she's wearing, and also a little bit in some of this background right behind her. This is some of that 3865 right in here and right in here. And then there was also the other crystal that we have is, let me see, where is it on this legend? is Crystal 318, so more of a bluish gray. And that's what you see right here, all along here, and then all along right here. So that's going to be more of this darker crystal on the sides that you see, especially like these darker colors for that crystal. But look at her. So this was my Nightcourt November image. So of course, the painter, that would be Feyre, if you've read the Court of Thorn and Roses series. Loved this image, loved working on it. If you ever get a chance to work on any Mage on Duty canvases, so much fun to do. I did make a couple changes. You can see this is the original artwork, which is absolutely beautiful. The only thing that I did note, that there were not as many of like the actual blue tones. So what was charted in here, you can see these are more of a blue gray, not so much of a gray. These are more charted to be actual blues, whereas over here it's much more of a gray. Same thing over here, it's gray and not actually really any blues in here. The pinks do come through right here, but I don't feel like the blue tones actually came through. And then the other thing that I did note, there were a couple spots, I think there were 2 or 3 drills in her face, one in the side of her lip, and then one right up in here on one of these browns, right here in her nose, that were a different shade, kind of like a little random confetti of a different shade. And when I looked at it, I'm like, that just looks wrong, that looks off. And I plucked it out and laid it down with the color next to it. So I replaced one of the ones that was in here, which I think was like a random dark, like one of these dark red ones, was down in here. And I replaced it with one of the ones that kind of matched with the regular colors that we're seeing. And then up in here, these browns that you see right along in here, there was like a random, I think a random red one or something like that over there. And I'm like, that looks really wrong. And I replaced it with one of the brown ones. And that just made it look significantly better, like it looked much better. Because when you looked at it, it just looked off the way it had been. And there's still like a little bit of a coloration there that I may go back in and change one of these potentially to a different, because those 2 drills there, I may change one of those as well. To kind of a slightly different color, but it looks better than what it did. And that's being like super like down to the drill nitpicky, which is just me being, again, down to the drill nitpicky. But overall, I am extremely happy. Like when you look at it from the distance like this, you don't really see that level of nitpickiness. The actual rest of the rendering, phenomenal. This was finish number 4 of the month and the 38th finish of all time. And this was The Painter by Mage on Duty, and I am so totally in love with it. And this is from the Jaded Gem Shop. So now we are going to go on to my 5th and final finish for the month of November. Next up, we have Cozy Mug. And Cozy Mug is by Natasha MOA, and this is a image also from Bella Art Diamonds. This is one of their early, I think one of their first run of releases that they did. So it still has the branding from Mary's Diamonds, and this is when their rounds were still coming out as acrylic rounds. And you can see as it's sitting here, it doesn't have the same degree of shine. The drills feel different. They don't have that same like prickly, uncomfortable pokiness that like you can actually run your hand over the drills and you're not like, ooh, ouch, that's uncomfortable like you get with the resin rounds. But as far as acrylic rounds are concerned, I personally don't mind working with acrylic rounds. It doesn't bother me at all. Like the drills were completely fine. The canvas looks really good. The drills were really, even though they were acrylics, they're really high quality, and I had absolutely no issues with them. They look really good. They still give you a nice shimmer, nowhere near to the level of what we got with Aphrodite. But I mean, she still looks amazing. The rendering was phenomenal on this. I mean, look at her. She's gorgeous. All right, let me give you the stats. So this was a 50 by 50. She had 55 colors and 4 ABs out of those 55 colors. I started her on the 25th of November, and I finished her on the 28th of November, which was like, you know, the middle of the night on the 28th. And this took me 19 hours and 16 minutes. I cruised through her. I divided her into 4 quadrants did this one, this one, this one, and this one. This section actually went the fastest out of all of them. There was a surprisingly large amount of confetti in this kit. So for all of you confetti lovers, this is actually a pretty confetti heavy kit. Like I said, I love how like they did a really good job with the render on this kit to get the way the sunbeams and the light beams are coming across this image. Hi, Sushlet. Are you coming in, little kitten? She's in like total chaos mode. I need you to move your kitten self. Come on. I need to show the kit off. Not the kitten, the kit. Come on, move. So to get these sunbeams coming across, like you get that light coming in because she's sitting in a cafe and she's sitting at the window and she's got that light reflecting across her. It really gives you that feel, at least for me, it gives me that feel from the way it was rendered. They did a really good job with it. She does have ABs in her face, but the ABs actually work. And like, I'm not normally a fan of ABs in the face, but she's got ABs in her forehead, like 2 different colors of AB in her forehead. And then she's got some ABs right here in her cheek as well. But when you look at it from the distance, it's actually one of those things where you need those ABs to show that the sun is shining across right here and shining onto her face. Boom, right there. And I feel like that's totally necessary. And then, of course, you've got like this part of her in the shadow, and it looks like that part of her is in the shadow. So I'm very pleased with how this turned out. I thought that it was done very, very well, rendered very, very well. And it was a lot of like really soft purple tones, looked phenomenal. This was the canvas that I did for the Cup of Coffee DP along with Ashley over at Diamond Art on Instagram and YouTube. And this was my kit for there. I didn't have any issues with this one, with running out of drills, anything like that. I did find myself over here. I was working on this in the middle of the night. Like when I say the middle of the night, I had a migraine at like 7 p.m. Took my migraine meds. Migraine went away. So I'm sitting there at like midnight and I'm like, okay, I'm wide awake. What am I going to do? So I'm like, okay, well, I'll diamond paint. So I was diamond painting at like midnight and I was working on this last section and I'm like, I want to finish. I'm so close to being done. So I finished it, but I finished it at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. But I'm like working over in here and I realized as I'm working on this section that I was using like the wrong color drills. And I think there was a portion where I was just like, yeah, whatever, I'm just going to leave those drills there. There's so many different shades of purples and pinks right over in here that I was like, I literally had picked up the drills for the symbol C and I think it was supposed to be T. And I'm like, whatever. I knew I like literally picked up the ones for C and I'm like, okay, I'm going to place the C's and I put them right on the T's. And it was one of those things where I was exhausted and I was tired and I knew I should have just like stopped. But I'm like, if I go lay down in bed, I'm not going to fall asleep because it's like, you know, I'm all jacked up on, you know, migraine medications and I'm wide awake and like, so there's no way I'm going to fall asleep. So I should have just like not done diamond painting. But anyways, so that was my own fault. I scraped all of the ones off of this area here and this area here. But then I left some of them over in here because I'm like, it's such a like integrated portion that it's just going to blend and it is what it is and I'm not redoing it. There was some right over in here that I did have to scrape off as well. So I did that and I'm like, yep, it is. I'm not doing it. But I didn't have any issues with running out of drills at all in this. It turned out very good. I didn't even like when I work on it in my sections, I'm turning the canvas in all different, like usually working on it with the canvas on its side. I very rarely work on a canvas with it straight up and down. So I never really see the image until I'm kind of like step back and look at it. So I didn't even realize that this was a pendant until I like stepped back and looked at it after I had like these 3 sections done. And I was like, and took a photo and I was actually looking on it at the photo of the 3 sections. And I'm like, oh, that's like a pendant. Huh. Okay. And then I realized that was like, you know, she was wearing a necklace with a pendant. I'm like, interesting. That like, I totally didn't even realize that when I was working on it. So anyways, but overall, like I said, extremely pleased with how Cozy Mug turned out. I thought this was phenomenal. Very pleased with it. Extremely minimal trash. It was great to work with, no issues, super fun to do. It was, like I said, the acrylic rounds, which was how Bella Art Diamonds was doing their older kits when they first started doing the rounds. Now they do all resin rounds and resin squares. Everything is resin. They always did resin squares, but now they've started with their batch of releases that they did starting with Aphrodite, everything is resin. And going forward, everything will always be resin. So that was this one. This was my 5th finish for the month of November and my 39th finish total / for the year. So those were my actual, oh, and I do have one more non-canvas finish. So I did finish the Woobly Narwhal. So a little bit better than my finish of Salem, the little witchy cat, but this was my Woobly Narwhal. I finished this adorable little thing. I thought that was a fun finish to do. Turned out a little bit better than my other little wooble that I did, so I thought that was fun. Those were my big finishes, and now let me move this out of the way, and then I will show you my small finishes. So, first one that I did, these are super, super shiny. So, when I was on duty at the hospital for a 24-hour duty, normally I do my paint gems. I did start a paint gem, but I didn't finish the set of paint gems because I was doing these stickers. And look at these cute stickers. They're so holographic and, like, shiny, so you kind of have to look at them, like, sideways. But look at these stickers. I haven't even, like, I literally got home a couple hours ago from a, like, really long shift duty at the hospital. Yesterday evening, I diamond painted these guys. I didn't even have a chance to put them in my little sticker book. And then this was the other half of the sticker pack. I thought these were just so fun. These are, like, super, super large drills. So these are really perfect if you have, like, a kid that you want to have, like, a younger kid to try out diamond painting. And you don't want to have to worry about the super small drills. So I have those two. And then I also did this super fun sticker pack. Again, I haven't even had a chance to put these into my sticker book. So I will, that's something that I can pull out my sticker book and show you guys what it looks like. And then I did this sticker pack as well with the kitty cats, the little duck. I think it's a little duck versus a chicken. Looks like a little duck. The little kitty cats. And then this reminds me of a little corgi. So I'm going to call this little corgi 0 after Mackenzie Dragonwing Diamonds little corgi. So this was the second sticker pack that I did. And then that was my other finishes were these stickers here. So that's all for finishes. Now we can go over my WIPs. So let me get those all set up and we will go over those WIPs. Obviously, my first WIP, you guys will have seen this one again. I have not worked on Cat with Big Eyes. I was going to work on Cat with Big Eyes by Zhang He. And this is from Lazy River Crafts. You can see I didn't even finish this section. I'm like, it's been bothering me that I haven't even finished that section there. I so want to finish that section and finish Cat with Big Eyes. Like, it's killing me that I have not finished Cat with Big Eyes or, like, worked on Cat with Big Eyes because it's such a cute image. So this is Cat with Big Eyes. If this is your first time seeing this WIP right here, this is a 60 by 62 kit rounds. Because, again, I love my rounds. It has 45 colors and 2 ABs, but I am blinging it out and adding a whole bunch of specials to all of the flowers. So I've added crystals, I've added more ABs, I think I've added some jellies to all of these specials, or two of the specials, well, they are specials, to these purples, especially to these flowers right down in here. So if this is your first time seeing it, I've added all sorts of specials right down in there. And I'm almost done with, I'm almost a quarter of the way done with it because I was working on that one big section. I just have this little bit right in here still to do. And then I will be done with that first section. And I'm kind of leaning towards saving Cat with Big Eyes to have be like the event in January to work on, to like the WIP event in January. I'm thinking of using this as my WIP to work on, and I'm probably gonna, I have so many projects I want to do in December, and so many kits to work on in December, so I'm probably gonna have a lot of WIPs going into January, including this WIP. But I really want to get back to Cat with Big Eyes, but I had so many other ones that I was like, I really needed, that I was finishing. So for some reason, this one kept going on the back burner, but I definitely need to pull Cat with Big Eyes back out and finish Cat with Big Eyes because it's like, so need to. So I'm going to, my goal will be to at least finish this section for the month of December, so I'll have at least done something on Cat with Big Eyes. But this is WIP number 1 going into the month. And then we have WIP number 2. So going into December, we also have one that I decided to start. I was hopeful that I would finish, but then I was like, oh, I've got plenty of time to make progress on this because this is such a small one that it'll work up pretty quickly. So this is Kawaii Rainbow from Sparkle Queen Creates. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think the artist is like written right. Yes, Denise LaFauci Snyder, I think. I covered it up with washi tape because I wanted the washi tape border, which, can you see the cuteness of this washi tape border? Like little unicorns, because I mean, like rainbow unicorns dancing around. But, so this kit right here, I'll bring it up so you can see, is Kawaii Rainbow. And it is, like I said, it's from Sparkle Queen Creations, and it is a 40 by 30 round drill canvas. Of course, it has 24 colors. I don't know, I did 4 fingers. 24 colors. It was not charted with any ABs. And I was like, I cannot do this canvas with no ABs. Like, that is just physically impossible for me to work on this kit, like this cuteness of this kit, and put no ABs in it. So I was decided I needed to do some ABs. So the only drills laid on this canvas so far are ABs. So far I have added some AB 310 because this was like perfect at AB 310. The clouds and the stars are all AB 5200. I made this arc of the rainbow AB, and I made this arc of the rainbow AB with a little accent. All of the ink accent of these hearts have some ABs in them. Same thing up there. And then I'm working on the yellow right there, which is going to be AB. And I think that will be it, because that will be, that will put me at, I think, like 6 ABs that I added into this kit. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's 6 that I added in. And I've worked on this kit, I think I worked on it for like, I was going to make really good progress on it. My goal was to make really good progress on this kit on Tuesday night before I went in for my 12-hour, basically my super long work shift. I was going to make some really good progress on that kit, this kit here. And then I realized I had no trays because I had not dekitted any of those 5 kits that I had finished. They were all kitted up, and I did not have a single Elizabeth Ward container that did not have a finished kit in it. And then like my one that has my one WIP in it of Cat with Big Eyes. And I only use Elizabeth Ward containers. So out of my 7 Elizabeth Ward containers or trays, all 7 of them were completely full, and 6 of them were full with finished kits. So I needed to kit down some kits. So I kitted down 3 of the trays, which were the ones I had with the rounds, and I still have the 3 trays from the flower delivery series to kit down, but from my square drills. But that, like, I still have that to go, but I at least got the rounds kitted down, and then I was able to kit up this one in, you know, a little bit of that tray so I could actually work on it. And I think I worked for like 12 minutes, and I got like the black, the ABs done, and then a little bit of the white cloud. I think I did like this much. So I did the black, and then I did like this much of the cloud over here. And then I was like, okay, I have to go to bed because I have to be up super early and go to work. So then this evening I was like, oh, right, perfect. I can work on it. I'm like, how much of this can I get done before I have to film this video? And I worked for like another hour tonight and finished this much is what I've gotten done in the past hour, which I'm pretty pleased with that. And that's all sparkly AB. I know you're kind of seeing it through the plastic. So we'll peel some of this plastic back so you can see the sparkle without the plastic of all of those ABs. And it'll look even better once I put the actual regular drills onto it. But this is going to be WIP number 2 going into the month of December. This one will take me like no time to finish. I will totally finish this because it's literally like pretty much pure color blocking. You can see this is all color blocking. I'm super loving it. And if you want a tip for like something amazing that I have found works super, super well, I have been multi-placing all of these ABs using Laura's WeWax in my multi-placer with like no issues. I've been mangling and like scraping it up into my multi-placer with the WeWax in my multi-placer end and placing all of these ABs with the multi-placer with like no issues at all. It's working like a dream to multi-place with the ABs. So super pleased with that. Now let's go into my next WIP that I have, and that would be my paint gems. So these would be the Exotic Fruits paint gem. So technically I started Kawaii Rainbow on the 28th of November. And I started Exotic Fruits, which I have finished one. I finished one right here. That's all I've finished so far. I've got one down. That's it. One. We got one. So Exotic Fruits, I started that one on the 29th of November. And I only worked for a little bit on that because I was doing other stuff. But I have placed a little bit on most of them. I think there's only like 3 of the Exotic Fruits that have nothing placed on them. I finished that one. And then I had I think I had the tea, I had one color left in my tray. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just place all of that color. So I haven't even touched these 3. There's 12 of them in this kit. I haven't even touched those 3. But I have drills down on the others. That one has some drills there. Some drills there. You can see I put all of there. So I've got a few drills right in here, just a handful. Some of them have more than others, just a few drills right there. A lot more drills on this one. That one had quite a few. Some drills on that one. Only a couple drills on that one, like 5 drills. And then some drills right here on this one right there on the papaya. So I was like, let me just go ahead and see how many that would be. So because sometimes I mixed up. Sometimes I do like all of the canvas, and sometimes I will pull out and I'll work on like 2 of them at a time, sometimes 3 of them at a time. Sometimes, like my mood last night, I was like, let me do all of this color on every single one of these canvases that had that particular drill, and I worked on all of them for that drill. So it really varies depending on my mood. And since I started this kit this way, I'll probably finish doing this kit the same way, just like that. So that's kind of like my way of working. It really varies and depends on my mood, and sometimes I do it one way, sometimes another. And then my other WIP that I have is a fiber arts WIP. I started working on my previous duty day like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. I started working on a sweater, and I was going to work on my sweater last night as well, and then realized that I had the wrong size. I couldn't work on my sweater because I had the wrong size crochet hook. So I am crocheting a sweater. And this is a design. You can see I've got the collar of the sweater done, and look at that. Like, there's the collar of my sweater. Don't mind my janky, first time ever crocheting a sweater, so don't mind my janky little joining right here. I'm still learning. And this I have to redo, but this was to kind of remind myself. I was just practicing this right here. This is going to be the pattern of what I do throughout the pattern, but I was just doing that to kind of remind myself, okay, this is what I'm doing. But I have to redo it because that's on too small of a crochet hook. So I have to do it again with the proper size because I realized I grabbed the wrong crochet hook. So I have to do it again for that part. But the rest of it is ready for me to start working on that part, with that being the back of the sweater and this being the front. But I have a neck of a sweater, which I'm pretty pleased with because I've never done anything besides like scarves and hats and blankets. And, when you do beanies, those are really straightforward. So that's my other WIP that I'm doing. So I'm pleased with that. So now I will show you guys what my plan is, which is a pretty ambitious plan for December. We have a lot of kits planned for December. Some of them I cannot show you, but some of them I can. So first off, getting the holiday season, I will be doing Kitschmas by Enablers Outpost. There's another kit from Enablers Outpost that I want to do this month as well for their Indie December event, but I'm just waiting for that kit to come in. It should be in pretty much any time. Once that gets here, then I will work on it. But until I get my Indie December kit, I will be working on Kitschmas, which is a 30 by 40. This little snack size Christmas kit. I'm super excited for that one. Next up, which I cannot show you, I will be working on my Advent calendar kit from Swartz Designs by Abigail Marie. I'll be working on that one, so you can't see that. I also plan to do the kits from the Diamond Art Club Advent calendar, so you won't see those yet. You will see them at some point on my channel, but during the month of December. But there will be, like, at the beginning of the video, I tell you that there's a spoiler and all of that. Also, when I grabbed all of these kits out, I didn't realize that I was going to be doing this is a very Enablers Outpost heavy month. I'm also going to be doing Mystic Creek by Enablers Outpost, which is a 50 by 100. I decided I needed to try to grab a large kit to work on. So this is the large kit that I'm going to work on. I did do an unboxing for this canvas early on. I was looking through my videos and I was like, you know what? I need to grab some of these kits that I've done unboxings on, but have not yet worked on, because I want to see what they look like and give you guys feedback on what these kits look like for the ones that I've unboxed, but I have not actually done. Especially since I do all my unboxings from small shops. So I decided I needed to do that. And the next one, hi, little Mozzarella. Hi, baby girl. She's like, what you doing, Mom? You're such a pretty girl. The girls have been very needy because I was gone for 2 days. So they've been very needy today. Hi, pretty baby. Got to do some cat pets because, you know, cat pets are important with the pretty girl. She's going to sit on the corner. The next one that I'm going to work on as well, like I said, this is going to be a very ambitious month. And if I don't finish everything, that's fine. I do have a square kit that I'm going to pull out. So this is New Horizons by Diamond Artisan Shop. And this is a square 42 by 60. So I was like, okay, I've had a little bit of a breather for the last couple weeks. I can pull out a square and work on a square. So I really want to work on one of these glorious, gorgeous kits from Diamond Artisan Shop, especially with, I love Alora Poutrot's work. I love her images, and I really wanted to work on one. So I'm like, first, I need to work on the one that I unboxed and opened for you guys. So I'm going to do this one here. So that is going to be the first one of hers that I work on. And then the last kit that I opened up is this image right here, Miss Ocean by Laura Philippone from Oraloa. This beautiful image. This is actually a 50 by 70 round from Oraloa. And, you know, we're getting into winter, which makes me want to go back to Hawaii and get back home to Hawaii, which isn't going to happen. But I want to be in Hawaii and not here in the desert where it's miserably cold. I want to go home. So, you know, I'm craving Hawaii and the islands. So I'm like, what better time than to, you know, pull out this one and do this one. And this would actually be my first time working on a Oraloa image. So hence this one here. And that's why I said this is a very ambitious month, because that, just with the ones that I have right there, I've got 2 already pulled out WIPS. Granted, Kawaii Rainbow is going to go super quickly. But that's 2 there, a snack here, which will go super quick. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 actual kits there, and then 3 more snacks on the floor, plus all of the thing, plus anything from the advent calendar. And then I have these 2 adorable little snacky ones. This one is like this little reindeer one, and then this one, these will take me like a couple hours tops. And then this one, which is like cookies, but it also makes me think of the holiday time frame too, because when you usually eat a lot of cookies, so I pulled this one out to do as well. So those are all of the kits and things that I kind of want to work on this month. I like to kind of pull everything out so I can have it to work on and do, but that's what's on my agenda for the month of December. We will see how far I get on all of these projects, and if I finish everything. I doubt it, but we will see how far I get and what I end up doing, and how far along I go and everything. Hi, baby, what do you want? Mochi, what are you doing, baby? She's like, I'm going to sit here, Mom. What are you doing? What? So, anyways, we'll have to check back in at the end of December and see where we stand on finishes. I also have, planned to do, basically, because I have the 2 advent calendars, and I'm probably going to alternate days of trying to post a video pretty much every single day for the unboxings of the advent calendar. So we'll see how that goes. But that's on my agenda to do for that. So keep your eyes open for short little videos on a daily basis from me moving forward into the month of December. I figured that would be fun. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoy this, and we will see how I go for this holiday season. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.